Welcome back to another 6-scale unboxing review. I am still very hyped for Spider-Man brand new date to release, and I have a few more Tom Holland Spider-Man figures we need to unbox and take a look at. We looked at the battle damage No Way Home suit last time, but now we're going to take a look at the stealth suit from Far From Home. And to be honest with you, this isn't really a crucial Tom Holland suit for me, but maybe the figure will change my mind because I do have the deluxe version here and I'm pretty excited to check out the Molten Man base. So of course, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and hit subscribe for much more content like this. But now let's get into it. You know what I want to know? Did MJ and Ned also forget after Doctor Strange's spell that Night Monkey and Spider-Man are the same people, or, you know, the same hero? Yeah, that's something I want to find out. Maybe they do, just because they also know Spider-Man exists. It seems like in Brand New Day, they kind of know who he is. I guess we'll find out when the movie comes out. But yeah, Night Monkey, yeah, we got to find out. I'm very curious about that. Hopefully the movie is going to be all about if they know Night Monkey is Spider-Man. That's the true question we need solved. But either way, this one I'm a little optimistic in. I'm hoping I really like it once we take it out of the box. But at the same time, it's not really an iconic Tom Holland suit or anything like that. It looks kind of cool. It was pretty interesting looking in the movie. But yeah, I just don't know if it's one that's going to stay in my collection long term. So it says Spider-Man stealth suit right down here. They wrote it in very small text. I had to take a peek at it, but this is MMS541. You see the Spider-Man Far From Home logo up here, the Marvel logo. And what's cool is this is kind of like Mysterio's suit a little bit kind of around here. You can kind of see the cape would be, but it's a bit like a stylized tech look. So it's not exactly his suit, but you have that. You have the end of his helmet or like the piece around it and his helmet himself. And they put the figure in there. I really like the artwork box for the Far From Home line. This is really, really cool looking. But of course, going to the side has the figure info, just a bunch of black lines and everything around there. Back of the box is a bunch of additional info. Other side, same thing pretty much, except whatever the heck that is. Going to the top. Okay, make sure it's not upside down. Spider-Man stealth suit, deluxe version. Yes, this is a deluxe version where we get the Molten Man base. So, hey, you know, could be the saving grace for this figure. And we have the movie logo upside down. So now let's go ahead. Okay, I'm doing it upside down apparently. Slide this off of here, and there we go. I really like the artwork on this box. So I like the outer slipcover because it has Mysterio's helmet, shows the figure through the helmet, which is it's just awesome. But there's something about this I really, really like. You see the concept art-ish type style for Spider Monkey. Well, not Spider Monkey, Night Monkey, stealth suit. I'm just mixing them up at this point, but the suit right there, that looks awesome. And then you see Molten Man, the background. I love that orange color. You see his face right there. That's really cool looking. You see Mysterio's logo kind of right there, the little triangle. I guess I shouldn't be holding the box sideways the entire time or having it sideways. See the figure info. Going to this side, you see his arm. That's really, really cool looking. You see the spider logo with like extended legs, all tech looking. Back of this one, oh shoot. I heard a sliding sound when I did that. Okay, let's hope everything's okay. Back here you can see, okay, that's actually cool. They have the list of everybody, I guess, involved with making this figure. Some green stuff. Spider logo on this side. And I didn't realize, but I guess this one opens with a little panel. So that's kind of cool. So if you have it this way, you see Night Monkey, roll it, bam, you can see the rest of that artwork. Mysterio right there. That's actually pretty cool looking. I really like the artwork on this box. Flip it around this way. Yeah, we get a little window so you can actually see the figure in there. See Molten Man, I think he's right there. Yeah, hands, everything. That looks great, but we don't really want to just look through it. Look at him through the box. We actually want to open it up. So, oh, okay. So I damaged the box for a second, but nope, we're good. Pop that open. Pop the top. And okay, let's get this thing out of here. There we go. And a big chunk of plastic holding some more plastic. All right, so now we have the plastic covering them. Let's just go ahead and get that open. Is this two pieces? Nope, seems like it's one piece. Nope, it's two pieces. Okay, good to know. So it actually is two pieces. The bottom layer looks like the webs. Skin tone neck, that's actually pretty nice. Maybe I could use that on some other figures. We'll have to see. But yeah, just some stuff in there. Go over here. And oh heck, okay, Molten Man's already trying to grab on Peter Parker. Sorry, not Peter Parker, Night Monkey. No clue who that dude is, but let's grab the base out because I feel like that might get in the way of the figure a little bit. That base looks sick. Okay, well, we'll take a look at it a little bit later. Then grabbing him. Okay. Right out of the box. You know, it's pretty interesting looking. I kind of like the overall look. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it yet. When we look in depth, I might have a little bit more, but it's an interesting Spider-Man design. Not really iconic. It was in the movie, but yeah, maybe we could do some fun stuff with it. Put a Tom Holland head sculpt on there because we get the skin tone neck, but no head sculpt, so kind of interesting there. But let's take the plastic off him. You know what I will say about this figure? It could be a really cool like base, like if you just want the outfit or something, or like a shield agent, or just like a different figure or character or something you want to build in general. Because as a Spider-Man figure, I mean, right off the bat, I'm gonna say this probably is not it. I don't think many people out there want to buy this one as their Spider-Man representation. It's more of like a companion piece to real Tom Holland suits or real Spider-Man suits in general. But we're gonna take a look at it and just see how cool it is overall. But I was thinking about that. They give you the skin tone neck, so like you could take other head sculpts, pop it on here, make like your own secret agent. So hey, you know, if that's something you want to do, that's something you could do. But let's take a look at it, starting with the mask. The mask, you can see it's kind of like a balaclava. I believe that's the right word for it, around the whole thing. But he's got the goggles on, so you can see he has this strap around the back, just sculpted onto the actual head sculpt. Then the lenses are kind of cool. So the lenses itself, this whole piece, you can actually pop off if you want. It's held in there with a magnet. Then you can see his eyes. I do actually kind of like that. So for the eyes, just toss that down there, I guess. They're actually looking off to the side. So you can see how they're kind of looking, okay, smack the camera, looking up kind of that way, you know, trying to make them look at the camera a little bit. So that is cool. They changed the eye position there. No rolling eyeballs or anything like that on this one. But yeah, I do kind of like that. Right out of the box, they already gave him a different looking eye look, because this piece, if you pop it back on there, we can actually rotate this up, put it kind of up on his head so you can have it kind of open, which if you do have the eyes showing, that's probably the ideal position. You probably don't want to pop the whole thing off, but so it doesn't break. I do like they use the magnet so you can pop it on and off, or say you bump it like, oh shoot, yeah, it's not going to snap off. It's just going to be a magnet. So yeah, do really like that. And then going to the outfit is like a mix of materials. It feels like kind of fabric in here, kind of around where the joints are, like the arms, the legs. Like most of it does feel like fabric, but then there's these sections that I'm not really sure the exact material it is. It feels kind of like that rubbery style material they use on other Spider-Man suits, like for the blue or stuff like that. So I think it'll be fine posability wise on the figure overall, just because right where it actually moves, you have the actual fabric, so that's not really going to get in the way or anything like that, which is very, very nice. He has these shoulder pads right here. It's funny, these kind of remind me of the new Deadpool costume shoulder pads, just kind of the overall look of it. He has this collar up here. He gets his little, okay, you can't pop that out. Don't try to unzip them, but you get a zipper right up here. You see that kind of sculpted in there, looks pretty good. No shield logo here, it's just a circle, so they took that off, I guess, you know, make sure shield's not known at all. Funny, the belt also kind of reminds me of Black Widow's belt a little bit, just kind of the overall look of it, especially from the earlier movies. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. You see he has along the belt, I guess we're still in the belt now, he has some pouches along the side, all that sculpted detail and everything around there. Going back to the chest, he has some straps along the side right here. See where they like buckle right in. Going to the back, he has this sculpted plastic piece here for, I guess, like the spine armor, something like that. Has these straps up here on the shoulders just to show, I guess, like how he keeps the vest on. Yep, got the shoulder pads. See some buckle details, straps all along those. See here, the forearm armor, pretty much asymmetrical on both sides. Looks pretty interesting. It's, yeah, stitched in there to the actual fabric as well. But the part I like actually are these web shooters. Look at those. The web shooters here are actually pretty cool looking. They're all black, of course, to match the stealth suit. But in general, I actually do kind of like those. They're kind of, I don't know, just cool looking. They're kind of unique, and I just really like them. Then I guess looking at the hands real quick. Yeah, he has the fingerless gloves, you know, leaving fingerprints everywhere. For Spider-Man, for me, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I guess, you know, he's like, I don't want to make sure Spider-Man's not here, you know, but if they see someone flipping around doing stuff, it's fine if they know it's Peter Parker, if they get my fingerprints or something, but I don't know, I guess the movie's not that in-depth, but yeah, you see it's kind of like the same material as the mask. I think, yeah, for that section, it's kind of like the sculpted little material that looks kind of like the mask to me, at least. Then here, kind of like a perforated type looking material. So that looks pretty cool. Going to the legs, he has some armor up here. Pretty squishy. Luckily, all the armor is pretty squishy, the material they made it out of. You have some buckles going along the back. They don't clip or anything. They actually don't really, I was going to say they don't really attach to much, but I guess it's to hold this piece, or I guess it's to hold these on, but there's nothing really along the back unless it goes to the pan. I don't know. Thinking about the buckles too much, I guess. Then you see this little line design going all the way down, going to the, I guess, the knee pads. He has this sculpted piece in here for the knees. He has this boot armor, which is a separate piece right here. If I'm getting it all on camera. It's weird for the boots. So he has this separate piece. Then he has a second piece right here. And then he has the boots. So it's like 3 different pieces for the boots, which is kind of interesting. On mine, I noticed the left foot is very loose. So that's not the greatest thing in the world, but we'll see if it falls off, or, you know, if I have any annoyances, I'll let you know while I'm doing some posing and stuff like that. But overall, it is a very unique looking Spider-Man figure. If we call it a Spider-Man figure, but I don't know. I just don't, I'm not the biggest fan of this suit. I was kind of optimistic that I'd take it out here and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. But I don't know. It's funny. The best thing I can say about it, like just looking at it, the lens is down, I guess. The lenses also don't really sit on there that great. Kind of up a little bit. Like they look fine, but yeah, the best thing I can say about it is that I think if you use this body as like maybe a shield agent and you want to do some customization, maybe I'll see if I have some, I don't know, generic looking other figures I can pop the head sculpt off of and put it on here or something. Or maybe I'll just grab one of my Tom Holland head sculpts and just pop it on there and just say, yeah, it could be like a generic shield agent. That's I guess the best thing I could say. And then as long as they, you know, match the skin tone on the hands, if you use the same hands, or you could use different hands. But I will say there is some customization. I've been saying I will say a lot, but, you know, just ignore that. There is some custom type things you could probably do with this figure if you want to make a shield agent, because I don't think we've gotten many shield agents. But then again, as a Spider-Man figure, not really my favorite. Definitely not my favorite, but yeah, just not feeling it. But hey, maybe the accessories will change my mind, because not gonna lie, this is sick. I love how this display base looks. So you can see you have Molten Man, his big face right there. It's done in this like kind of translucent type material, so you can slightly see through it, but not really through it. It's really well done. Like, yeah, you can kind of see my hand a little bit, I guess, through the mouse. You see that? Yeah, but it's not fully translucent. So it's just really cool looking. It also lights up. So I'll have to get some batteries, put them in there. We'll test out the light up feature. But overall, I do really like this. That face is great. I love the hand. It's going to look awesome, but maybe with a different Spider-Man figure, because that stealth suit, yeah, not really feeling it. But then down here, we have like some broken off pieces of some sort of building. Yeah, looks pretty good though. You see the sculpt work in there for wherever the building was. I guess you could stand on this. You get a flight pole that we'll put in there that could be standing up on. There's some rocks mixed in here. You see some rocks. You have some like splattering details everywhere. There's more rocks along this side. Overall though, I actually do really like the base. Is it going to save the figure? Probably not, but the base itself, yeah, I can't deny that looks sick. So I just popped some batteries in here, and what's interesting, it has an, if it wasn't upside down, an on 1 and an on 2. So I think there's 2 different light up modes for this. So if we pop in on 1, wow, okay, yeah, I need to turn the lights down. You see, it looks like the lights are just on in like a static mode. You know what? Let's just turn these off. There we go. Okay, that does look pretty cool, actually. Now, yeah, it looks better in hand, but I'm going to turn down how much light the camera lets in. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Look at that. The hand is all lit up. It's a bit more orange in person. On here, it actually looks yellow through the camera, but it's more of an orange. I don't know if I can, yeah, changing the light levels, I guess going way down low. Yeah, you kind of see that orange color. That's a bit more accurate to how it looks, but just looking at the actual light effects, yeah, we'll turn the camera to, yeah, just let that much light in there. So it does look good. Let's go ahead and pop it into on 2, and okay, it's kind of like a breathing mode, I guess. Yeah. On camera, there's a little bit of like flickering. You see how the light kind of seems like it's flickering a little bit, but in person, this actually looks pretty cool. I really like how that looks. So it's a cool looking base. The orange looks pretty nice. It's lit up. Then again, it uses batteries. It's not USB light up, which is not ideal. So if you wanted this lit up permanently in your collection, you can't really do that because, of course, you use batteries. You have to replace them. Make sure to open your collection up, turn this on off whenever you want to use it. Not ideal, not something I'm going to be going for, but in general, it is a really cool looking base, and I do like how the light up effect looks. Just wish it was USB. We also get this flight pole right here for the base. It's not as tall as some of them, like the battle damage one that we looked at recently for that battle damage movie promo Spider-Man. That one was insanely tall, but this one, we also get the little flight pole crotch grabber type thing. Not crotch grabber, waist clamp. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, waist clamp. And honestly, I know usually suits get damaged if you use this. For this suit, though, I don't know if it would, because this suit, just kind of looking at it, yeah, it's kind of like fabric around there. So depending on where you grab them, you might be okay. But then again, just always use cautious when you decide to use the waist clamps, because at the end of the day, they could end up damaging your figure, unfortunately. But to put this on, just pop the top off of that. Go ahead, slide this on. I'll have to tighten it up if I need to. Grab that little cap, trying to grab it through camera, and I actually succeeded. And there we go. Go ahead and twist this in place. So you get that little hole right there. You want to twist this in, and it's actually in a pretty nice spot. So if you want to have this drop down, have them just standing here, but also supported by the little waist clamp, you can. If you want to have them up in the air, bend this over a little bit, have them kind of dodge in the hand, you can. And you know, at the end of the video, when we do all the posing and stuff like that, yeah, we're going to have some fun with the figure and the base. Because yeah, I'm already thinking of like, man, yeah, I'm thinking with some cool poses right now. Now for the hands, and right out of the box, you get the pair of closed fists. Like I mentioned before, all the hands have that kind of fingerless glove look. So yeah, it's a little interesting. Not really something I feel like Spider-Man would be too comfortable doing, especially nowadays, fingerprints and everything like that. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me, but you know, two closed fists. You get the pair of kind of wall crawling style hands. You can see where the wrist pegs is right there. It can kind of go flat on a surface. And now that these ones are open, you can actually see where he actuates the webs. He has that little kind of circular-ish type thing that probably attaches to the web shooters. You know, just hits that whenever he wants to shoot some webs. He has these kind of fingers curled in style hands. So not really relaxed style hands, not really gripping hands, just kind of curled in for when he's in some interesting looking stances. Then we get a pair of web shooter hands. You can see the fingers curled in there. And I can't even lie to you, the nails and the finger details kind of suck on this. Look at that. Does he even have a fingernail on the thumb? Like maybe. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. It looks like they're just skin tone painted. So not really. Yeah, the detail isn't really amazing. They have some creasing and stuff there. But yeah, not really feeling that. Definitely nowadays, Hot Toys does a lot better with the skin tone on their fingers and figures in general. But just this one is a little bit older. Yeah, just know that's why. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I just don't really like how it looks. But these ones, they have holes through them. So they're actually the web swinging hands. So you can put the webs through there. Have them either like pulling with the web or swinging or whatever you want to do. And now for the webs themselves, they always put them in this kind of foam protecting piece. And it's pretty much the standard old array we used to get. Nowadays, they give us the Spider-Man 2 game webs, which are white instead of this kind of translucent type look, which honestly, especially for live action ones, I do really like the translucent look. It just looks more realistic. And all the detail they add in there, yeah, it looks really, really good. Design-wise, I definitely kind of like the Spider-Man 2 ones a little bit more, kind of the variety. But look-wise, I kind of prefer these ones. So you get this web, have it in his hand, like he's holding, maybe swinging, just stuff like that with the web all bundled up. He gets this web that he could put into his hand. He could either be kind of like pulling, you know, if this is stuck in something, maybe the Molten Man, or something through the Molten Man since he's not actually real. Or he could be like swinging, like have it down here, and then he's just kind of swinging off the web. There's this straight web that you could peg into his web shooter. And what's cool about that one is you get this web. It's like the splatter web, like you'd be shooting into a wall or kind of shooting off something and be pulling it in. And this piece looks very, very nice. You could just peg right into here. Just pop it into, yep, there we go, pop into that. And then this end, with this figure, he actually doesn't get swap out palm pieces to put the web into. He just has the web shears on the actual outfit. So there's like a little hole in there. Go ahead and take this, peg it into that, and peg it into that off camera, because trying to do it on camera, I could not see the hole at all. But now you can see he'd be like shooting a web. He has this kind of small, or not smaller, the longer web with the end piece you could do, or just take that end piece off, have a longer web. And I was saying smaller because I was saying about these webs. We get the smaller style web that you can see right there. Has kind of like the rounded tip, looks pretty nice. And this one, I guess if you want a closed fist, you can do that. And peg into... Do you think I can do this one on camera? What do you guys think? Yes? No? Maybe? No. There you go. There's the answer. So yeah, once again, taking it off camera, pegging it in there, you can see the shorter web. What's kind of cool about this one is that since the web shears are built into the suit, you actually don't get... Like, you don't have to use the actual web shear hands. Of course, it's Spider-Man. It makes more sense. Or, I mean, technically it's Spider-Man. But it's Spider-Man, so it makes more sense to actually use the web whipping hands. But at the same time, if you want to have closed fists or just something different in general, you can. So that is kind of unique, kind of cool about this figure. But then again, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious if in Brand New Day, they're going to use something like this, because he does have separate web gauntlets that he actually has on his hands. So, or like separate web shooters, I should say, that look like gauntlets. So they're actually going to go around his hands. So I'm very curious how Hot Toys is going to end up doing it, because, you know, they're going to give us that Brand New Day suit, or at least they better, because I'm going to be there day one throwing down a pre-order on it. So I'm curious if they'll do something like this where the webs peg in like that, or if they're going to stick with their kind of palm swap out kind of style they've been doing. So he does get some swap out lenses, but what I'm kind of curious about is that we get this. So the lenses seem to be pretty identical from what I'm seeing. I mean, I guess maybe they're squinted in. I'm so bad because they give us so many different lenses that ones that are slightly different, like these might be slightly different, kind of throw me off, and they look kind of the same to me. But yeah, so it's kind of small, but you see how there's like silver in there. So this other one doesn't seem to rotate up. So I think this one, okay, so the other one, I put the other one on there now. And the reason we get a second one is because this one is just strictly these lenses. So if you want these lenses and you want to rotate it up, you could do that one. But this one doesn't rotate. And this is the one that actually gives us these swap out features. So you take the lenses, pop them off. You can see these ones aren't magnetic. They're held in with friction pegs. I thought I was lying for a sec, but nope, that's a hole, not a magnet. Then we can pop in other lenses. So we get these wide eye ones. Not really feeling those, especially, yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like the mask look. You see how it has a gap right there? From the front, looks okay, but from the sides, yeah, not really feeling it. Definitely not really feeling the big kind of surprise look on them. Then we get these angry lenses, and I don't know about you guys, but does that look kind of goofy? Maybe it's just me, but I'm not really feeling that. That doesn't look the greatest, to be honest. It's just kind of, yeah, I don't really like that one. To be honest with you guys, the ones that I'm feeling for this figure specifically, because usually I actually like the angry looking lenses on Tom Holland Spideys, is just the default. They look all right. They look fine. And what I do like is that you can actually rotate them up. So I might maybe put them like that if I do end up keeping this figure in the display. Just having the lenses up, having them kind of doing something cool. We'll just have to see, because also we get this neck peg piece, and man, this neck peg feels very hollow. Can you even hear that? Yeah, I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up, but it is a very plasticky feeling. It doesn't really feel like how their modern neck pieces are. Just, it's not great overall. It's just okay. It'll probably get the job done. Has a ball peg up here. Dang, that is very stiff. Okay, but you get the the ball peg up there for the neck. And what I'll do is I'll put it on the figure, and let's grab a Tom Holland head sculpt. Just know the figure does not come with its own Tom Holland head sculpt. It's going to be one from one of my other Tom Holland figures, but let's just grab one. All right, so you can see I popped the neck in there. The other head popped out pretty easily, and then I grabbed I believe the integrated suit Tom Holland head sculpt. Yeah, this one has a ball peg in there. It's not the Iron Spider one, so it's definitely going to be compatible. Also a little older. We can pop that in there, push down, and there we go. And actually, at first I was thinking the head looked a little big, but no, I think it's just the hair. At first, kind of threw me off there for a second, but I think it looks pretty good actually. Like, look at that. It's kind of what I was saying before, how if you get this figure and you want to throw other head sculpts on there, make like a shield agent or something, you know, you could do that. You have Tom Holland right here. Actually looks pretty good with that head sculpt. Not a big fan of the mask on the Night Monkey suit in general, so putting that on there, you know what? I actually kind of like that. That looks pretty cool. Not really a Spider-Man anymore. It's just Tom Holland as a shield agent or something, unless you throw the webs and stuff in there. But, you know, I do kind of like that. Oh, yeah. So now we have 4 different Tom Holland Spider-Man in my collection. And yes, the new one obviously is a stealth suit. And to be quite honest with you, probably the lamest of the 4. Definitely in the comments, let me know which of the 4 do you like the most. But yeah, for now, I just put them in a pose, kind of swinging above Molten Man down there. But man, this lineup looks great. On the Iron Spider, just because I love the head sculpt that much, or so much, or you know, I love that head sculpt. I have him without the mask on. Yeah, hopefully that sentence made sense. Then we have the integrated suit, looks absolutely fantastic. Now we have the stealth suit. You know, it looks like Night Monkey, so there you go. If you're really into that Spider-Man look. And then we have the, I guess, Far From Home suit, his suit that he made himself. But this one's from No Way Home. I mean, it originated Far From Home. And honestly, out of all the Tom Holland suits I own right now, all 4, yeah, this is my favorite. I just love how, like, you know, you guys know I'm a sucker for battle damage, so I absolutely love how that suit looks. I love the base he comes with, and in general, I really love that figure. So this one, you know, ranked number 4, worst one here. That's number 1. Number 3, definitely the Iron Spider suit. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's a newer figure, which is probably also why it looks fantastic. Love that head sculpt. Sorry, my hand's like, I guess, shaking. I'm like sitting way back, holding it way out, you know, just trying to do that. And I'm putting my finger in front of the lens. And then the integrated suit is number 3, you know. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and last place goes to the stealth suit. So it's okay as a figure. Yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of it though. So, you know, the conclusion section is probably going to be pretty short. We'll definitely do some posing for it, but I'm already basically telling you right here, it's just an okay figure. Definitely not one that I need long term. You could probably already tell, but I'm not the biggest fan of this figure. It didn't have a lot of screen time, and honestly, it's not really a Spider-Man suit to me. Sure, he has the Spider-Man lenses and web shooters, but other than that, there's not many iconic Spider-Man elements. It's all black, which makes sense. It's a stealth suit, but it's just not very interesting to look at. This isn't really a critical Tom Holland suit if you do want one in your collection, but then again, if you do find it for cheap, it is a decently cool companion piece. Just, yeah, it's definitely not a critical one you need if you're looking for like your first Spider-Man figure or anything like that. And honestly, the best thing about it though is that it does give you that skin tone neck. So it could be like a Tom Holland head sculpt display piece. So if you want to display your Tom Holland head sculpt, but want to have the mask on your other figures, you could just pop the head sculpt on this piece and there you go. But overall though, for me, it's just not it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like and hit subscribe for much more content like this. Check out another figure review in the playlist that'll pop up, maybe the Battle Damage Spider review, or check out the collection tour to see how my collecting journey is going. As always, thank you to the channel members. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button and you'll see your name at the end of reviews amongst some other benefits. I look forward to talking to you all again very soon, but until next time, stay 6 scale.